Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Arsenal 1, Everton 0, away to Everton. It's job done, and ultimately, I'm going to be really harsh here and say there'll be a load of critics of Arsenal, but basically they're top at Christmas, and that's all I'd be bothered with. I think when you are near the top, especially halfway through the season, I'm not really going to bother too much about people saying you're boring or you're not very good. You're top of the league. However, I do also subscribe to the opinion that they've been lucky the last couple of weeks, and I would be a little bit concerned as to how long that's going to happen. We've seen with Liverpool at the start of the season when they won their first 5 games. I said it, many of you said it, well, look, they're winning when they're playing badly. That's fine. Maybe they're being a bit lucky here. Maybe they were a bit lucky with the penalty against Burnley. Maybe, they're a bit lucky against 10-men Newcastle. The problem is with Liverpool is they never got better and then they started losing games. What Arsenal need to make sure is it's absolutely fine to listen to the critics, even in your own fan base, who go, we're boring, we're shit, this, that and the other. But they've got to get better. They can't continue to play like this. I think against Everton and Wolves, there's a lack of... What I find frustrating about Arsenal, actually, first of all, let's talk about the penalties. Obviously, it's a penalty for Arsenal. I don't know what O'Brien's doing. It's like he's playing netball or something. The penalty for Everton, I've got to say, I think the PGMOL are rubbish. Breaking news, Slow Sports News. They are absolutely rubbish. And I think they've had a really bad day today. I thought Newcastle got absolutely done. Spurs might feel they got done. I haven't got time to go into that one. But Everton did get done today. I haven't got a problem with the on-field referee not giving that. But if that's on the halfway line, it's a foul. And I think what we're seeing is, and we saw it with the Anthony Gordon penalty as well, which was more of a penalty than the one that Everton should have got, that they've almost set a bar that you can be fouled in the box, but it's got to be a certain type of foul. It's got to beat a threshold. How can you ever get consistency in that? How can you say it's not a penalty because it's not enough? Like, how do you measure the impact of a foul? Like, you can't. So you've got to be really rigid, and it should have been a penalty by Chalobah on Anthony Gordon because he fouls him. And it should have been a penalty on, well, what I think should have happened is, if that had been Villa against Man United tomorrow, and that was, let's say, Lenny Yoro kicking Ollie Watkins, I'd be going, that's a soft penalty, don't give it. And then he doesn't give it, and I'd go, yeah, good decision. So I understand Arsenal fans, but if that was the other way, and it's the last minute, and it's Tarkowski on Jesus, you would want a penalty. And that's my point. I get the rose-tinted glasses, I'd be the same with Man United. But if that's the last minute of the game and you need to win that, or you're not top, and that's Tarkowski on Jesus, you know you're going to want a penalty. That's just the way it is. So I put the blame at the PGMOL, and the on-field referee, okay, maybe he doesn't see it. But when you've got VAR, and it's the same with the Newcastle one, and they're seeing what we're seeing, I'd love to know how they're saying they're not penalties, because they're both fouls. They're both fouls. On the centre circle, the referee will blow the whistle for both. They are fouls. The Everton player kicks the ball before Saliba and he kicks him. It's not dissimilar to the penalty that was given against Liverpool when they played Brighton with Van Dijk. But what they should do, and this is where VAR should work, is the referee on the pitch hasn't seen it, so he hasn't given it. They should say, go and have a look at it now. Go and have a look at it. I'm not saying it is a penalty, it's borderline, but go and have a look at it because you've only seen it in real time. That's where that VAR should be used. What they're doing is going, you haven't given it, we've looked at it, and we're going to back you, even though you've only seen it in real time. He should get to go and have a look at that, because I think that's where that should have gone. It at least deserved to go to the VAR screen for the on-field referee to take a look. And they don't push it there. So I think Arsenal were a bit lucky there. There'll be plenty of instances of Arsenal saying, we've been done, we've been done. Everybody gets done by the PGMOL. That's the point. I don't think we should be falling out about it. Arsenal got away with it a little bit tonight. Everton got done over. Next week, Arsenal will get done over. Everton will get away with it. That's the inconsistency of the PGMOL. But having said that, when you look at the game, it wasn't great. But across the 90 minutes, it was probably a 1-0 Arsenal display where we say Arsenal are a bit boring, but they defend really well. I think it probably was the right result. They've hit the post twice. Trossard should have scored. I can't think of any decent chance that Everton had in the entire game. I can't think of one. I really, really can't. So I think Arsenal winning, whether it's badly or not, they did deserve to win it. The question is, my frustration with Arsenal, and I mentioned this when we were talking about Gyokeres, I thought there was a brilliant ball by Saliba into Gyokeres in the first half. Brilliant. And I'm thinking, why is a centre-back playing that quick ball into Gyokeres? And it was a great tackle by Tarkowski because I think Gyokeres would have scored. And I'm thinking, why does it take Saliba to play the right ball into Gyokeres quickly? Martinelli comes on in the second half. You're 1-0 with 10 minutes to go, and he holds onto the ball when he could have slipped somebody in, and then it's 2-0 and the game's over. Saka, in the first half, gets the ball, could cross it quickly, gives it to Odegaard to cross it, and you can literally see Gyokeres and whoever is on the back post, they have to step backwards to come forwards. They don't move the ball quick enough, Arsenal. They don't. Like, I'm looking at Man City, they're moving it quick. Arsenal are overplaying the ball. A little bit like Pep used to, and obviously Arteta is a disciple of Pep, but Pep stopped doing it. PSG stopped doing it. Teams are moving the ball quicker. Arsenal need to move the ball quicker. They are very slow in the build-up, and you will get far more goals and far more out of your strikers if you move the ball quicker. And your centre-back played the best pass of the game. You've got people like Odegaard, Saka. So, look, Arsenal weren't impressive today. I don't think they're in impressive form. But where you would take solace if you're Arsenal is that it's 2 wins in a row after losing to Villa. They're not conceding goals, and they can rely on that. However, they've got Liverpool, Villa coming up, and Bournemouth and Brighton. I can't see them winning the next 4 games in a row playing like that. So they're going to have to improve. But I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. And Man City are playing really, really well at the moment, but I still think Arsenal will win the league. I predicted it at the start of the season when it was unfashionable and you got laughed at. And then about 2 months into the season, everyone said Arsenal were going to win it easily. And now people are starting to say it's City. I still think Arsenal win the league because they've got everything. They've got the defence, they've got the midfield, they've got the attack. I know they've got a few injuries at the moment, but they will be back. I look at Man City, they're playing good football at the moment, but I can see 2 injuries to City that destroy them. And touch wood, it won't happen. But if anything happens to Haaland, and I think Foden's really important as well, I think that City are capable of dropping points. So, look, Arsenal are going through their blip, but they're not really dropping points. I mean, Chelsea away, Villa away, they've dropped points there, but they're grinding the results out when they're not playing well. The most important thing for Arsenal is they need to start playing well soon because they will start to drop points if they continue like that. But as I said, look, there will be a lot of Arsenal fans criticising it. There'll be a lot of people criticising it. I wouldn't give a toss. Top at Christmas. Those games are over. Yes, they need to play better. I think they need to move the ball quicker. But they're not going to concede loads of goals. So the thing about Arsenal is they're not going to concede loads of goals. So even if they play badly, as long as they can find a goal here or there, they're probably going to win. And that is a strong thing. I mean, look at how many goals Man City conceded to Leeds and Fulham. So that's their big strength. Get your comments in below. Let me know your thoughts. Smash a like on the video. We've got no live games on here tomorrow because there's only one live game, and that's Villa against Man United, and we'll be on the United stand for that. Take care. Stay safe. I'll speak to you on the next one.